Good morning, church family. It's me again. It has been a week or so since I addressed you, and although some things are getting better in our lives, we aren't together yet. I'm prayerful that each day will bring us closer to the day when we can gather together at church and sing God's praises. Today, I will read my take on one of my favorite verses from the book of Esther, verse 4:14. As a reminder, the book of Esther doesn't mention God's name in any of the pages, but behind the scenes, that's an entirely different story. This poem is entitled, The Right Place, Right Time. Right Place, Right Time by Gwen Walters. Have you ever looked back in your adolescent years, in your early adult years, in your middle adult or old age years? Have you ever asked yourself, why am I here? Who am I supposed to be? What is my purpose in life? Have you laid awake thinking, when will my dreams become reality? Where will my future lead or land me? Will I ever become the person God intended me to be? Have there been times in your life when God seemed absent, when God appeared silent, when God seemed distant? Have there been times when you felt that God's hands were not in motion? God's voice couldn't be heard. God's plans seemed to have vanished. Have you considered that God has placed you in the right place, at the right time, in the right position for such a time as this? So I encourage you, even when you can't see God, can't feel God, or can't hear God, to rest assured His timing is perfect, and we must remain focused on God's unabating power, God's unyielding promises, and God's unwavering protection. Do you remember the story of Mordecai and his cousin, Queen Esther? His bravery saved the life of a king, and she saved her people from destruction, from the hands of an evil and conniving Haman, an Agagite who hated the Jews. For in the end, Mordecai and Esther's humility prevailed over Haman's vanity. Do you recall the story of baby Moses and Pharaoh's daughter? A Hebrew boy that floated down the Nile River in the basket made of bulrushes before a powerful woman took pity and rescued him. And he then later became the Israelites' deliverer from a life of slavery in Egypt. What about the story of the harlot Rahab in the book of Joshua? Here we have a Canaanite woman who saved the lives of two spies that were sent by Joshua. She hid them under bundles of flax drying on her roof, resulting in her life and the life of her family being spared, when Jericho was later destroyed. How about that story of Ruth the Moabite and Boaz and Elimelech? An honorable man who allowed a foreign woman to glean in his fields. Without limitation or retribution, she enjoyed refuge under his redeeming wings. And later, a union of two was formed, and that led to a genealogy of a miraculous firstborn. Who could forget the amazing story of Mary the Virgin and her firstborn, Jesus, a young woman from the house of David who had a miraculous visit by the angel Gabriel with a marvelous message that she had found favor with God. And she would bore a male child, and he would be called the Messiah and King. It was because of faith, love, and trust in God, in the names of all of the characters listed above. Therefore, it resulted in a reversal of their faith, therefore allowing many souls to be spared and precious lives to be saved, therein giving us, you and me, an eternal life when our Redeemer and Savior gave up his life. In Esther 4:14, It reads, "For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place, but for you and your father's family will perish. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this?" You see, church family, we all have a place in God's world. He has given each of us different abilities and skills, and it's up to us to find how they could be used. Because who knows that you have been placed in the right place at the right time for such a time as this. I wish you well. My prayers are with you. I look forward to an opportunity to seeing you again. Have a blessed day.